Dit is vir my so lekker om vanoggend met Dr. Lerato Matsaunyane te gesels. Sy's 'n klein hoewe aartappelboer. Dr. Lerato, welcome to GROOTplaas.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and greetings to everybody that's watching.
Absolutely. Let's start off. You've got such an amazing career. Tell me a little bit about your background and what you do and, just what makes it so significant.
So my career started in genetics at the University of Free State. At that time, it was called Orange Free State. So you can guess how old I am. So I did genetics, and during my genetics courses, one of my professors, Professor Spies, indicated that there were opportunities at the Agricultural Research Council where one can get bursaries to further their studies. I took that up and started doing my master's and PhD through the Agricultural Research Council, but then my shift moved from just basic research to applied research, but still doing genetics. Following completion of my PhD, that's when I discovered that a lot of research that I did for my master's and PhD was desktop research and it was not applied research. That's when I shifted and thought that it would be important to focus on smallholder farmers because I could see the plight of smallholder farmers. And I started looking at ways in which we can improve the livelihood of smallholder farmers, their businesses and their enterprises. And this is how I started working closely with smallholder farmers through the Agricultural Research Council.
That's absolutely fascinating. According to you, why do we have so few smallholder farmers actually planting potatoes?
The industry is very expensive in terms of what it requires. For example, the reason why we have so little smallholder farmers in the industry currently is number one, knowledge and skill. They lack the knowledge, they lack the skill. Number two, production inputs are very costly. So for a smallholder farmer, it becomes a deterrent in them entering the field. Second, the other matter is that they don't look into the markets. They try to fit into the mainstream market where they will not be competitive. So those are some of the reasons why smallholder farmers are lagging behind in terms of their entry and sustainability within this industry. But the other important thing is the resources that they have available to them.
Yes.
Some only have small pieces of land. Some of them don't have land at all or are leasing land, but the lease agreements are very short term. They don't have the implements or your tractors, your implements for soil preparation and for the harvesting and planting. So those are some of the reasons that make smallholder farmers not sustainable or viable within the potato industry.
What is the term, the smallholder potato farmer? What definition can we put to that? Does it basically only apply to the size of land that the people are planting on? How would you describe that term?
So the department has various definitions in terms of smallholder farmers. The definition includes the size of land that they're planting on, as well as the annual turnaround in terms of the profit that they make. So we base it on different characteristics to deem a farmer a smallholder farmer. So for a smallholder farmer, the ones that we're working with currently, they have a turnaround that is less than 1 million, and they have production on lands that range from 10 hectares to just below 50 hectares.
Doctor, for you specifically, when we look at, being a potato farmer, a potato is such an important product, used countrywide. What is the significance for you?
The significance for potatoes, I'm a farmer by default, being that I do research on potatoes. So I consider myself a potato farmer.
Absolutely.
Because what we do through the research, we start from planting until harvesting, and we evaluate and we share with the market. So I still consider myself an ad hoc potato farmer.
Yeah.
When we look at potato, its contribution, when you look at all the vegetables, when you look at the GDP, it's one of the biggest contributors towards the GDP when we're looking at vegetable crops. Secondly, potato production or farming has the ability to contributes significantly towards job creation because per hectare you are able to employ a significant amount of people, and subsequently you contributing towards job creation, you are able to contribute towards food security in that community from which those people are coming from. This is why it is currently a passion for me.
Absolutely. And earlier you mentioned the challenges, why there are so few smallholder farmers actually planting potatoes. Now, if we look at those challenges, what program does the Agricultural Research Centre have in place to address these challenges?
So at the Agricultural Research Council, we found it important, as I mentioned, that the challenges is knowledge and skill. So we developed a program where we skill the smallholder farmers in terms of the full value chain of potato production. This is just before the farm gate. And the skill is not based only solely on just the what you call the classroom training, where you give them the information. We go on their farms, and this is where now we turn literacy into functional literacy. So our program basically looks at skilling and imparting knowledge on the smallholder farmers about potato production. But in addition to that, we have other research that we are currently conducting that is geared towards assisting these farmers with the reduction of input costs. So we're doing some research to reduce the production inputs for the smallholder farmers, because when you look at potato production, the main drivers are the cost of seed, the cost of fertilizer, and the cost of chemicals. So we have research that is focusing on these three main drivers that push up the price of production, and see if through our research how we can reduce input costs for these smallholder farmers. That way they'll be able to be entrants into the potato industry as well as be sustainable within the potato industry.
Yeah, that is so important. I love hearing success stories. Do you maybe have a success story that you can share with me, especially in the light of the challenges that people are facing?
We fortunately for us, we have a strong collaboration with the Northwest Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. So we approached the department and indicated the need to grow smallholder potato producers within South Africa. So the department, what it did is that they identified suitable farmers for this program. And when we did this program together with one of my best colleagues, Mr. Flip Steyn, I think you've already had a chat with him.
Yes.
We had 9 farmers from the Northwest province, which the department gifted us to train on potato production. What then happened is that the department availed production inputs for these farmers, because the importance was for the farmers to focus on the knowledge and the skill and not worry about what it is required for them to do production. So in that way, the department provided the farmers with production inputs for 1 hectare. This was mainly fertilizer, chemicals, and as well as the potato seeds. We journeyed with the farmers for a duration of 6 months from beginning to end. And as it is commonly known in the potato industry, for a farmer to say that they have received good yield, they are looking at maybe having had harvest of about 40 tons per hectare. But from the program on its first year, based on the knowledge that we gave the farmers and the skilling that they got, we had harvest from the 9 farmers ranging from 30 tons per hectare to 47 tons per hectare. And I feel that is a success story.
Absolutely.
And from that success story, the department engaged us and said that they will put in place a 5-year program for us to continue with these farmers, because all we did with them in the first year was basic training. So we are in our 2nd year this year. We're going to start planting in November, and we are going to now start giving them advanced information on what to look out for when one is doing potato production.
That is amazing. Doctor, isn't that what it's all about? Sharing knowledge, paying it forward. At the end of the day, that's actually all it comes down to, right?
It is. It is about imparting knowledge and paying it forward because what we would like to see is that from this program, when the program has reached its final time, which is after 5 years, we are hoping that the farmers that we have currently trained will become the future mentors for other up and
Absolutely.
coming potato farmers, so that we now start creating a cycle within a province or within a locality where it's teach one and you pay forward to the other ones, and you grow the sector through small pockets that we are creating currently at the Northwest, in the Northwest province.
That's absolutely true. Where do you see smallholder potato production in the next 5 years?
With regards to smallholder potato production, it has a lot of scope and a lot of potential. Um, it has the potential to boom within South Africa and assist in increasing the supply of potatoes within the industry. Currently, the big challenge that the smallholder farmers face is excitement. I don't want to say
I
in a
understand.
negative way,
No, I
but it's
understand.
excitement because as soon as one yeah, as soon as one hears about your big processors, your big processing companies that have contract farming, they feel that with no skill or with little skill, they can now start producing or supplying a processor with about 40 tons per week or 40 tons per day. And that is not practical because they need, in addition to the knowledge and the skill, they need the experience, and experience only comes from having a certain number of years within the industry. So that
Yes.
is a bit of a challenge that the farmers might face, and that might deter them after being unsuccessful for 1 year. It might deter them in continuing with the enterprise. But then from the programs that we have with the Northwest Province, we have another one that is currently underway with the Gauteng Department of Agriculture, and we are engaging other provincial departments because, as I said, they need to come on board and provide part of the production inputs that the farmers need. But if we are able to sustainably, gradually grow the farmers through this training, the smallholder potato industry in South Africa has the potential to grow, and it has the potential to contribute significantly to job creation and subsequently to food security. I mean, as it
Absolutely.
stands, we have a challenge with youth unemployment. So with this, we have a feeling that it has the potential to assist government in addressing some of the challenges that they're facing. Yeah.
And that's also the wonderful thing when you spoke about excitement. That's why we're having the conversation. I think when it comes to agriculture, there are so many aspects that we can be excited about. And I really love your excitement. So thank you for sharing that with us this morning. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for inviting us. And I don't know if you can hear, it started raining and the farmers are looking at outside, they're dancing because we are currently in the process of planting. So the farmers, instead of getting out of the rain, they're dancing because
Oh,
it
that's
means the plant,
beautiful.
the production will go nicer.
Well, that is absolutely amazing. Go dance in the rain with them as well. We'll talk
I
again.
will do that. I will do that.